world champions.
Winning for sure. Nah, I mean, we haven't like talked about Lakers in a while, so we can talk.
We
about
haven't talked about anything in a while.
Yeah, so we can talk about the AD stretch.
Yeah.
That's the main thing that we can talk about the AD.
And we can talk about LeBron being ass.
All right, so guys, we haven't talked about the Lakers in a while, and a lot has happened. A lot has happened. A lot of ups and downs. We had a really, we had a streak that I was like, yo, let's go. The Lakers are back. But then AD got the flu. We lost back-to-back games. We lost our stupid game to the Sixers.
That was annoying.
We won
lost
yesterday.
Against the Pacers.
No, but we did.
Yeah.
We did. But that was before we got on fire. And we won yesterday, but it was against the Pistons. It was a booty win.
Yeah.
Whatever win. But honestly, like the biggest thing to talk about before we get into some negatives, let's talk about the biggest positive that has been AD.
Anthony Davis.
AD getting back into his prime, playing like a top 5 player in the NBA. He has gone insane. And it's funny because people are like going crazy about it, but like you have said, this is expected of him.
Yeah.
He's finally healthy. He's finally healthy for like an extended amount of time. And obviously, we all know his skill. His skill has never been questioned.
Absolutely not.
It has always been, can he stay healthy? But we all know that when he's playing, he's one of the best. And it's been impressive. He had that 44-point game against the Bucks, that 50-point game against the Wizards, and he's just been dropping 30 points almost every game. Mm-hmm. Even the game against the Sixers, he was in foul trouble for most of the game, but then in the fourth quarter, he took over and brought us back. Points. So I have no complaints about AD at all. Right now, it's clear that he's the best player on our team by far.
Yeah.
You know, we're not gonna talk about LeBron yet. You know, I wanna let Ale talk about AD for a bit before we get into LeBron.
No, it's funny because like what he's doing right now isn't surprising. And I was telling Abram like this is his first summer that he's had like fully healthy, that he's been able to like actually like work on his game and not necessarily rehab. Yeah. Because when he was coming back from, because the year that we won, he had that summer, but that summer was like a few weeks.
Yeah, it was.
And he was probably like, bro, I'm just gonna chill. You know what I'm saying? This dude was like, bro, I worked my ass off. I won a championship. I'm just gonna chill. So he came back, got injured, and apparently Dennis Schroeder said that the medical staff was really bad that year.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
A lot of injuries.
That time. And so, you know, all that, and then he just was never really was able to get going. And when he did, and when he came back fully healthy against the Suns, you saw what he was doing, but then he got injured immediately again. So, and then last year, obviously, let's not even talk about last year.
Yeah,
that was just like. That year was just a mess. He had the off season, instead of working on his game, he had to rehab. So he was never really able to get going. But then this year, we're basically just seeing Anthony Davis at his best. And what I love that he's doing is that I don't know if someone got in his head. I don't know if it's that he's playing center, but we don't see him taking that many jump shots. You know what I'm saying? All he's doing is
honestly, he's making a good amount. Like he's making enough to the fact you gotta respect him.
Yeah.
But he's destroying the paint. He's just destroying everybody.
Which is what we wanted because we've always said like, yo, AD, you can shoot. You're a great mid-range shooter, but you got to take it to the paint sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because he's so skilled around the basket. He can finish with either hand. He can dribble. And it's just like, I feel like it's a score or foul every time. And what I like about Anthony Davis, and I respect, is like when he gets fouled, it's like he gets fouled.
Yeah.
It's not that I've never seen AD foul bait.
He's not a flopper.
He's not. And he doesn't foul bait. Like when he even when he gets fouled, he's not, like, I appreciate that about Anthony Davis. And then, you know, there's some centers out there like Embiid. He's the main one that, you know, he looks for his fouls. And that's not, you know, if you want to win that way, that's fine. You're never going to make it anywhere, but you can play that game if you want.
All I'm saying is that in the playoffs, that's not going to work, bro.
That's not going to work. Look at players that do that. James Harden.
Biggest example right there. And they're both on the same
team. And then Embiid. You got Embiid too. Like, Embiid, what has he done in the playoffs, really? You know what I'm saying? It's like when you base your game around getting fouls and you're in the playoffs, they don't call that. So, but I'm just really, really proud of Anthony Davis. This is what, you know, he drops 30 now, and I'm not like, oh my god, like he dropped 30.
Like at the beginning of the season, he didn't really have 30-point games. He was having like 22.
Yeah, he had like a back injury.
He was being unaggressive. But ever since LeBron went out, and then they went on the little winning streak against bad teams. It's funny because when he was dropping 37, 38 against the Pistons and the Spurs, I was like, oh, whatever. Like,
that's a bad team.
Those are bad teams, but then
once he kept doing it. The Suns and then the Bucks.
I was like, okay. Nah, I think the Suns game was the first one that I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. And now it looks like he's not turning back. Obviously, let's pray he doesn't get injured again. But so far, it's looking very good.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to LeBron. LeBron has been inconsistent, to say the least. And it's funny because if you look at the stats, it looks like he's having a normal LeBron year. The only thing that sticks out is the field goal percentage.
Nah, it's going up.
It's going up slowly. It's like a 46, 47 right now. But the thing that's frustrating about LeBron is that there has been key games that we have needed him to step up, and he hasn't.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the main three, I would say. The first one, the Pacers game. We had that game in the bag.
Yeah.
And that was like in the middle of a stretch that we're looking really good that game. That would have been like our fourth or fifth game in a row.
We're looking dominant against that team.
We're up by like 17 in the fourth quarter. Out of a sudden, they start coming back and LeBron just keep shooting.
Yeah.
Keep shooting. Missing. Like.
And it's the shot selection for me. That's not it's the shot selection that's really blowing my mind. It's the lack of awareness that you don't see from
It doesn't make
LeBron.
sense.
It doesn't make. It's like you know that you're down. You know that you need a bucket, and instead of doing like the biggest example for me is like in the Sixers game. I always bring this up, bro. Tobias Harris had 5 fouls. You brought this dude back. You're dribbling. You brought him back to the 3-point line. What am I thinking? Oh, he's gonna drive in. Nah. AD curls and hits AD for 3, and he misses because AD's not. Come on, like you're
like AD can make it, but
yeah,
it's not a
that's
shot.
not a shot that you want. You want to drive in. You want to like, bro. Tobias Harris is gonna foul you, or you're gonna score because he's gonna be like, oh, I can't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna either get Tobias Harris out, or you're just gonna make the easy layup because he's not gonna try to foul you.
Or even maybe you can like get coverage multiple people. You give it to like Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
That's a 3 that I would respect more.
Exactly.
And that Sixers game.
I think he just played bad all throughout the game.
Yeah, that was not his game. The Pacers game, he had a good start, but
Yeah.
then at the end, he was like, got messed up. And then another game that he was complaining a lot about was the Cavaliers game.
Yeah.
He had a solid game, but I was one
He
of
had a
those
solid
games that
game.
You would expect him to take over. And
And-
he's out, and we needed that win. We can't afford to lose like that.
Throughout the whole game, you can tell that he's trying to get his teammates involved. He sees that AD goes out. He's trying to get his teammates involved. Everyone's playing good. That was a really good team. Like the whole team was stepping up. And what I needed to do, and what I thought he was gonna do, he was trying to like chill throughout the first 3 quarters. He had 21 points, solid. But I thought he was gonna take off in the fourth.
Yeah,
absolutely not. He saw Donovan Mitchell doing. He's like strive for greatness, skip from apron. Like stuff like that is annoying because it's like, bro, you're in your house, right? That's his house.
Yeah.
You're letting some guy that just pulled up to the team, basically like outplay you. You got to take over, man. And that's one of my biggest things as a LeBron fan. To me, that's one of the most infuriating things about LeBron. I just feel like sometimes he doesn't care enough to prove people wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's funny because obviously at this point in his career, like he has proven himself a lot. But we're talking about it. The thing about LeBron is that he's not being measured against the other players in the NBA. He's always being measured against Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And I do believe that he has a chance to pass him, and you believe that as well. Like, we're big LeBron fans, but honestly, if you ask us, we're most likely still saying that Jordan's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Just because of the career-wise.
Yeah.
Player-wise, we can argue that. We can maybe say LeBron. But career-wise, Jordan's career is, like, too perfect for me to, like, So, I don't know. I think this year that they have a chance. If AD is playing good, if the role players are playing better, and obviously a trade, it's still possible that can make us real championship contenders.
Yeah, I don't think with this current team it's gonna be very difficult to win because I don't know how we're gonna do in this 7-game series. Just because we have a lot of liabilities on the floor.
Yeah, and it's funny because a 3-game losing streak like the one that we had against the Cavaliers, Raptors, and Sixers, if we were like a regular team that didn't have such a bad start, you could overcome that because that happens to everybody. Sometimes the Warriors, the Suns, the Pelicans, the best teams in the NBA, they have little losing streaks. That happens. But it's just the fact that you started 2-10.
That's my problem. It's like there's specific games that you gotta lose. That you lose and you can't lose that.
Yeah,
you can't afford like LeBron. Like that's why it bothers me with LeBron, especially like in that Cavs game. It was tied in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like, bro, at that point you need the win, bro. You can't afford these losses. Same thing with the Pacers game, right, bro? Get AD involved. That's another thing. Sometimes they be like, LeBron's like, let me not get AD involved.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It's like games like that, like against the Sixers, like, bro, you did all that to come back. Like, bro, like that's not even an enjoyable thing. Like, I can't even say like, oh, at least they came back. No, bro. Because
at that point, just lose.
Like, I literally told him, like, bro, at that point, you should have just lost the game. Like, I don't care. Like that shows me nothing. To be honest, they honestly got lucky with that comeback.
Nah, I was super.
To be honest, like they fouled Embiid, got the ball from him. Like there was a lucky comeback. It's not like they were playing their asses off. Nah, like they just got lucky. I'm not mad at AD for missing the that's whatever.
Austin Reeves too. Like,
yeah.
No, honestly, no complaints about Austin Reeves.
No,
Austin Reeves is arguably our best role player. Him or Lonnie Walker.
Yeah,
they've been playing amazing. I have no complaints about Lonnie Walker. Austin Reeves. Westbrook has played better. With him, it's always a bit like interesting because right now he's a 6-man. As a 6-man, I have no complaints. He gets assists, he gets points sometimes. He tries. He's been hustling. He gets a lot of steals. It's just with him, how much he's getting paid. Like, that's what Ali always brings up to me because I'm a Westbrook fan. You know, I always support him, but Ali talks about how like if there's a trade available for him, they gotta take it.
Yeah.
Just because how much money he's making.
Yeah, I don't think he's worth it. And it's just it's also the mistakes he makes. He costs people games sometimes because I think especially when we're up, it happened with the Pistons. This man started off he came into the game, he started off super good. Then whatever, we started getting up by like 17 points or whatever, and this dude just decided to do stupid shit. And that's his problem. Like, he does stupid things that it's so obvious not to do. And I don't know if he's like, oh, let me just try whatever. It's like we can't afford that. That's why in a game like against the Bucks, he played so perfect. He got 0 turnovers. He made no mistakes. He played like he had to play. He hustled. But I don't know. I can't trust him to do that in the playoffs because he's never shown me that.
I definitely trust him a bit more now. I think he's bought into the team. But at the end of the day, he's Russell Westbrook. That's just the way he is. And you got to accept it.
Yeah.
And that would be okay if our team was better. If we have better role players and like stuff like that, and you can just have him as a 6th man that brings energy, I'll be like, no, don't trade him, man. It's fine. I want to keep him on the team. But it's the fact that we're missing players, and at the end of the day, he is our biggest trade asset.
Yeah, he is.
So I'll be okay with not trading him. If maybe we could like pull up like a Kendrick Nunn, Beverly trade for somebody that's really good. But you know, if the only available opportunities for him, then he might have to go.
You know, someone said that like Austin Reeves and Lonnie Walker, those are like great 7th and 8th men, but those are like our 3rd and 4th best players. You know what I'm saying? And like to that extent, that's true. I would say because in really good championship contenders, like where do they rank? Let's look at the Milwaukee Bucks. For real, because they have Giannis, Drew. These are for sure better. Giannis, Drew, Brooke, Middleton, Bobby Portis, and then you can start making the arguments with like Grayson Allen, Pat Connaughton. Like
I feel like they'll be like in that spot.
Yeah,
they'll be like in the same level as them.
That's what I'm saying though. That's exactly that's what it is. Like we're relying on these dudes to deadass be like our 2nd and 3rd best players. In any team, they wouldn't be. They'll be perfect if we can pull off a trade to get people that like that, like a Buddy Hield and a Miles Turner, or like a
Kelly Oubre.
You like Kelly Oubre, stuff like Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich played incredible. Like he'll be such a good fit. And then there's like certain needs that the Lakers have. Like I wish they had a player like a Bogdanovich that could just come off screens and just hit a shot, bro.
Yeah, just hit a shot.
Just hit a shot because Lonnie be hitting shots, and I don't know. I feel like we give him 2 shots and then we stop using him. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Lonnie's a guy that needs the ball and needs to get more shots. The same thing with Dennis Schroeder. I feel like Dennis Schroeder's not really, he's just out there sometimes.
Yeah, he's not really that aggressive, honestly.
Yeah, and maybe it's because the coach is like, bro, just pass and stuff. But like, I don't know. Like Dennis Schroeder, like this guy is a good scorer. Like this guy is a guy that's come off the bench. He's almost won 6th man of the year before. Like he's a good scorer. He's a natural scorer. And we just telling him to pass the ball, but it's not even to like get assists, just telling him to pass. And he's a good defender and stuff, but like at the end of the day, you're also asking these people to like guard up positions. And a lot of people are complaining about Patrick Beverley too. And it's like, and about Darvin Ham. What do you have to say about that? Like Darvin Ham and Patrick Beverley.
The thing about Patrick Beverley is that it's tough not to play him, like you were saying, because he's a bit of a big name. He obviously is not a star, but he has a reputation in the league. And it is a bit crazy how he has missed so many shots. He just feels his vigor percentage dipped. And it doesn't make sense because he's like open shots. Like, why are you missing out of a sudden? And his defense sometimes is there, sometimes it feels like it's not. And I understand when people are complaining about him because he should be playing better. But like, what are you gonna do? Is just not play him? And it's not like we have that many great options over him. Because, you can start Troy Brown, but then who are you going to play in place with Troy Brown on the bench?
Yeah, that's the problem.
And Adam Beverley on the bench, to me, with that second unit doesn't really make sense. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to play him, which you kind of have to, if you want to trade him, because if you put him on the bench and you never play him, nobody's going to want to get him.
Exactly.
So he fits more with the starting lineup. Mm-hmm. And I think it's fine if you put him in the starting lineup, and then if he's playing by, you can just take him out.
Yeah.
Because I don't mind giving him a chance, because sometimes he actually does add value to a team.
I think he's been playing good recently, to be honest.
Yeah, recently he got him better.
He played good in the Sixers game.
Yeah, the Sixers game, that was like one of the best games of the
probably
year.
The best game of the season.
He was playing solid defense and game solid.
And then I actually think he did a good job on Bogdanovich. I don't know who was guarding Bogdanovich when he went off in the third quarter, but I don't think it was Patrick Beverley. But honestly, overall, I think he did a good job. It's funny because like I tell Abram, like, LeBron, like, sometimes he doesn't feel like guarding, so it'd be like, yo, Dennis, pick him up. But it's like funny because it would be like a 6'10" dude. He's like, Dennis, what are you doing? It's like, and I just feel like, and that's another thing, like, we're asking these people to guard up a bunch of positions. Like, bro, Lonnie Walker is 6'4", Dennis is like 6'1", Patrick Beverley's 6'1", Russ is 6'3". Like, we're asking these people to guard power forwards. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what we need. And it's like, a lot of these people can't play, like, how they're supposed to play. Like, Patrick Beverley, whatever. Patrick Beverley's a super role player. But, like, Kendrick Nunn and Dennis Schroeder, like, I wish they played different, but they have so many people in their positions. Like, I think Kendrick Nunn could be useful if you give him a different role off the bench, just as a guy that just goes out there and just shoots. You know what I'm saying? But we can't do that. We can't afford that because we have so many people that are... Because it's hard to do that with, like, a LeBron and AD. And you already have a Lonnie Walker and a Russ doing that. And so you're playing him off the bench with Russ. That's just two small point guards.
Yeah.
So it's like... You have so many guards, and that's why I think a trade is like it's not even like you should. It's like it's damn near necessary because you're not using these people how they're supposed to. And I feel like Kendrick Nunn can pull up to another team and be useful.
Nah, yeah, for sure. And honestly, right now, if I'm being honest, I think that if we keep the team the way it is right now and everybody stays healthy, I do think that we'll sneak into the playoffs.
Yeah,
I think that we'll win enough games because I trust us to be like the bad teams every single time. And then I know that we can pull out some wins like the one against the Bucks. Like we play the Celtics tomorrow, and honestly, I don't write off us. I think we can beat anybody on any.
Yeah, to be honest,
we have LeBron and AD at the end of the day. They're playing good. We're always gonna have a chance, but it's like we're trying to win a championship.
That's the problem.
And another thing is like, yeah, I think that we'll sneak into the playoffs, but the fact that it's gonna be like on our last leg, like we're gonna be like barely in there, maybe a 6 seed, maybe a play-in.
Yeah,
and I don't want LeBron to have to play so good the whole season because he can always get injured. He's always gonna have those games that he just doesn't play good, that he looks uninterested.
Yeah.
So I want to trade so it can be easier for him, and it can just be easier for everybody on the team, just so we can actually be a better team in general. I think we definitely gotta get a win. We gotta get Kuzma, Kelly Oubre, Bogdanovic.
Yeah.
At this point, we gotta get one of those.
No, we have to. Yes.
Because I don't think we need a guard.
No.
The only guard trade that I'll make is for Buddy Hood, Miles Turner, but I don't even know if that's an option anymore because the players are doing solid. Maybe, I guess, that's one of those things I was seeing in the trade deadline.
Yeah.
But I think in December, we got to make a trade once. I don't know if they're waiting for that December 15th thing that everybody becomes available. But I really hope that we do make one. I try not to think about it too much because the Lakers have disappointed us with their moves ever since like a year ago.
They're not.
Honestly, like even forever, like the Lakers with LeBron have never been that good at making moves. They got the AD one, but that was kind of like presented forward. Like that was gonna happen no matter what. And obviously they traded all of their young players. But honestly, my thoughts on the Lakers right now is that I enjoy watching them. They're a fun team. At the end of the day, every single time they play, I get excited.
Yeah.
And I think that we're gonna make the playoffs, but right now I don't think we're gonna win the championship with our current team, and that's obviously what we care about. I don't care about making it to the playoffs and then losing in the second round. Obviously, I want to because I want to see them play in the playoffs. But with LeBron, at this point, it's just about championships. So.
Yeah, and that's all that matters. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.
Peace out.